Alright, looks like we are live. What's going on, everybody? Can already see Chris in the background here with the good old DC3. We're looking pretty good. Alright, let's get in the old cockpit here. And I sort of feel like I'm hearing myself twice here, which I'm kind of wondering why. So, just 1 second here, fellas. Peter, what's going on? We are looking good. We're here in Cuba. We are going to be flying a couple legs today, and pretty cool stuff actually, because there's 2 really good freeware airports available. Hey Connor, what's going on? And Boone and Mishko Blue D-Dog. Haven't seen you in a while. What's going on? All right. Luis, what's going on? So it's giving me an indication that my stream may be buffering. Yes, sir. Enzer Gums, what's going on? So if you guys can confirm that the video is okay, that would be really, really cool. And we're gonna get going here. Just want to make sure I'm not lying to you, Enzer. It is MUBR, yes, sir. We're gonna go external power supply on. We are going to go. We are going to go. Whoopsie, I got all my stuff here messed up. We're going to go. Oh, you know what I didn't do? This is when I look silly. Hold on for 1 second. I got a video's fine. Awesome. Because I was trying to upload a video at the same time, and I think that might be what it didn't like. So I just canceled my video upload. I'll just finish that later. And there's piston twin. We got 1 more to go. Piston twin it is. There. Now we can fly. All right, we'll go rotating. Beacon on. Make sure some props full forward. Yeah, Enzer, I don't know. I don't get it either, because I sometimes see. I don't quite understand who I see and who I don't see, but it does that. We got Mike Coffee here. What's up, Sierra Bravo 869? What's going on? Good to see you. All right, let's go. Fuel valves open. I gotta stop talking and start flying here. Let's go. Fuel pumps on. We'll go. Magnetos on left. We're gonna open the starter hood cover. Take a look outside. Make sure there's nobody out here to kill or maim. And there is not. We're gonna start the right engine first. And nothing happens. Why is nothing happening? Fuel is on. Oh yeah. This is what happens when you fly the 737 and the Islander on the same day. So, right engine, good start. Oil pressure is good. Left prop is clear. Let's get the left engine going. That's a good start. Oil pressure is good. Magnetos to both. Let's close that. We'll turn the fuel pumps off. Check the fuel pressures. They're looking good. Lean the mixtures for taxi. Avionics master coming on. Enzo, I'm in the beta as well, and I can see Chris, and that's it. Connor Scully is here. Enzer Gums is. This is fantastic. I don't know if I plugged it in. I don't know what I have no idea where I am and what I'm doing. Had a really good flight in the 737 earlier today, which was kind of cool. And yeah, so much for my prediction that they were going to release the beta on Tuesday, right? So let's see here. Yes, that is okay. So I hope you guys got the chance to get the two. I always do this in this plane. I forget to release the parking brake. Let's go nav and strobe lights on. I hope you guys got the airports, because there's two really cool freeware airports. The first one is like ridiculous, and we've got arriving traffic. I'm on the East USA server as per usual. So, but it's weird, and you know what? I don't think it's just limited to beta, non-beta. I've seen some posts on the forum, the official forums, the last couple days, about this problem. You know. So, what do you think? Do you think we have enough? We probably have enough room to take off right here, but back taxi a little bit. We'll give people some time to hop on too. Looks like a pretty stiff crosswind here. We'll back taxi a little bit. So, yeah, first destination is Kamegi International Airport. But the freeware scenery for this one is absolutely amazing. It really is. Alright, let's go. Fuel pumps on. Flaps are set for takeoff. Mixtures and props full forward. And we'll spin us around here. And we'll get matriculating. Mark and on his way. That's good. And no worries, Connor, I got room. Takeoff power is coming in. Takeoff power is set. Engine instruments are in the green. Airspeed is coming alive. Alright. And 60 knots. 70 knots. And let's commit aviation. Yeah, you see us weather vane into that windsock there. So good to see everybody out today. SVMT. It sounds familiar. Sierra Bravo 869. I tend to want to say yes. Is that Venezuela somewhere? Is that Colombia? Props back. Bring the power back to 25. And we'll let the nose drop here just a little bit. Get some speed, putting the flaps up. And we'll go left turn out here. Gosh, it is beautiful out here. Whoopsie. It'd be even more beautiful if I stall into the water here. So, should be a good day of flying today. Course of 142. Sounds like a plan to me. One, 4, 2. But yeah, this should be a cool flight. And then we got the. I think this is gonna put us in a good spot next time to head over towards to head up to the Bahamas. Go see our friend Brooks. Go see our friend Brooks in the Bahamas. And check out some more cool scenery. Alright, 1,000 feet AGL. Let's turn our fuel pumps off. And get some trim in. Quispy, what's going on? Absolutely, sir. You certainly can. I do it all the time. As a matter of fact, I'm posting a video, uploading a video right now where I'm doing exactly that. Nice. Look how beautiful this is. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Alright, 2,000 climbing 3,000. I think 3,000 would be good. Bernardo, what's going on? You know what? I should do that. The problem is we've gotten so far out here in Cuba, and we're having so much fun. Push the nose over, bring the props back a little, power back just a tiny bit. That's a good question, Bernardo. That is a very good question. That is something I should absolutely... You know, it's funny, because I'm actually thinking right now about going to Guadalupe, because we're going in the end of August, beginning September, going to St. Martin for 2 weeks. Well, flying into St. Martin and not flying out for 2 weeks. The question is, what do I do at that time? And really strongly considering hopping on an Air Caribbe's ATR 42 and going down to Guadalupe for at least a couple days, because it's just such a cool place. Such a cool place. So we definitely got a bit of a left crosswind here. And Crispy, been using your guys the last little while. My performance has dropped quite a bit, even though with the frame gen lately. You know what's weird? Like, I've been getting it's been acting a little up on me lately too, the last like maybe 2-3 days. But I'm in the beta, and I don't know, I'm using the beta app for the beta NVIDIA app. So, Jason, what's going on? How are you, man? But yeah, the last maybe 2 days, I've noticed some stuttering, which I never ever see. But who knows? I haven't changed anything in the last couple days, so I don't quite know what the deal is, but who knows? So Mark, it seems like some of it, like we might be divided in like halves here in terms of groups. I'm not quite sure. That's sort of what happened last time. We had like a couple of us on one. A couple of us could see each other, and then a couple other people could see each other, but everybody couldn't see everybody, if that makes any sense. Time for some aileron trim here. So, don't give me no back taxi or back talk. I like the back taxi, but I'd like to be polite to people too. So nice, Mishko Blue. That's great to hear. That is good stuff. Quispy, I use it all the time. I use it all the time, and I know a lot of people have problems with it, or I don't know, people say they have problems with it, but I never have. That's what I use to record all my videos. So there was a thing in for a while that when it was changing, it was resetting the filters, was it? Every time you logged out, every time you restarted it. But so far as I know, that problem's been resolved. But I've used the NVIDIA app forever. I've used it forever. So let's see here what we got. Gosh, it's black. We got trailing traffic there. Looking good. We'll check Valanta and see what I see on Valanta. Nice, we got a whole bunch of people on Valanta. We got Jason, we got Connor, we got Chris Loach, all in trail here. So 102 miles, I figure this is going to be, I don't know, maybe 40 minutes maybe for the first leg. We'll see. Mike, I definitely would. Heck yeah. Hans Boone, what's going on, Hans? How are you? Mike, I definitely would. Change the DLSS file, that is. Definitely. Ends are cool. Look forward to seeing you catch up here. It's weird. I don't think I'm actually getting. I was thinking I was getting double my own voice here earlier, but I think what I'm getting is I'm actually hearing it through the earpiece. I don't understand, but it'll work. Hans, how are you this evening? It is gorgeous over here. Good. We're doing very well. It's been a good day. Been a good couple days, really. I did my first Africa flight yesterday. My first ever Africa flight. And that was awesome. Only for Lufthansa Virtual to reject my PIREP because I used the wrong airplane, but I don't really care. I enjoyed it. Let's see. The other thing I can enjoy is leaning my mixture so I can get some more power. Yeah, I flew from Tanzania, Dar es Salaam, Tanzania to Uganda yesterday. It was a really cool flight. Entebbe Airport in Uganda, which is one of the Asobo Bambaso. What's going on? Which is one of the Asobo handcrafted airports, and it wasn't that great, if I'm honest. But I've been wanting to fly in Africa for ages, so I was really pretty excited about it. So I think, geez, I got these things lean like crazy. There we go. How do I find time to work? That's an excellent question. No, so my gosh, look at this. So my work computer is about 1.5 feet away from me right now. Well, not really 1.5, but it is 10 feet away from me right now. Let's put it that way. And yeah, to me, it's just about kind of managing my time, because, like, on days like today when I know I'm going to be flying, I'll sign on early and get some work done, and I'll hustle through my day because I know that I've got some flying to do. But really, like, if I'm doing like just regular kind of 737 or ATR flights, it takes maybe 20 minutes to get up and going, and then I go back to work and then come back and descend and land, so it's not too big a deal. Yeah, Mombasa, I'm totally with you on that one. Work is for the birds. Work is for the birds. I don't mind work. I just, and I don't have a job that I hate, which would be like the most miserable thing in the world. I can't imagine hating your job because you spend so much time doing it. I mean, am I like Warren Buffett, who once said he tap dances to work? No, but it could be worse. It could be a lot worse. I've got it pretty good. But I tell you what I would love to do for a living. I'd love to be a streamer. That'd be great. So if you guys keep watching me, that'd be great. I'd appreciate that. Mishko Blue just took the drone over to Boone. Got a sweet pic. That I tell you, so I was looking at the what is it? The gosh, this is beautiful. The D18, the Beach D18, which was like the fifth local legend, and I love that plane, and it's got such a connection to the Caribbean. That I may try getting that one out of the hang. I'd have to buy it first, which is not a big deal. I think it's like 15 bucks or something. But looking at that plane lately, Hans, I'm a translator, believe it or not. I am a translator. So I work on, everything I work on is online. So I work from home, which is lovely. And I've been with the same company for 20 years now, which nobody does anymore. But I just got a good gig and stuck with it. And look at how you can see these are like tilled fields now. I mean, that is very, very cool. That is very, very cool. You know, Bombasso, I'll tell you something funny. So I have a strategy on winning the lottery. Because right now, as a matter of fact, I gotta go buy a ticket later on because I think the Mega Millions I think both of the big ones are like $1 billion right now. They're like ridiculous amounts of money. I don't need $1 billion, but so my strategy is this: I play the New York lottery because New York lottery is 2 tickets for $1, whereas like the big ones like Mega Millions and Powerball are $2 for 1. So the New York State lottery costs 25% of what the, or no, yeah, 25%, unless my math is wrong. So you get a ticket for 50 cents rather than $2, and you're only competing with the people in New York State. I'm not competing with everybody across the country. Of course, it's not so much that it's not as much money. They might have, Jason. I didn't check today. I'll check right now, as a matter of fact. So, but of course, like the New York, yeah, 1.13 billion. Yep, must be nice. Yeah, I mean that's just nuts. And so anyway, but the New York State Lottery had been on a roll for like the last 3 weeks. Nobody had won it, and it was up to 19 million bucks. And then somebody won it on Saturday, I think, and I was checking my ticket on Sunday, and I got the first 2 numbers right, and I knew the rest weren't gonna be there, but oh well. Mike, the cool thing about the DLSS file is that if you use DLSS swapper and something goes wrong, you can swap it back in literally 2 seconds. Very, very easy. It's very, very easy. It's good stuff. Yeah, I mean, $1.2 billion is just crazy. There's nothing wrong with that, Connor. Sometimes when I'm sitting here, I mean, I think the last flight we did with this plane, I literally trimmed the entire time. All I did was trim, up, down, up, down, up, down. I think it's annoying after a while. And, but yeah, Mike, if you use DLSS swapper, it's super easy. And the new file, the new 3.6 file is in there now. So you're good to go. So, CUBA. now, so somebody won the Mega Man. What about the Powerballs? That one's like still. That one is still $865 million. I mean, I'll take it. It ain't one. That's a new bike. Yeah, I mean, I heard somebody say something which I think makes a whole lot of sense, which is that instead of giving one person $1.2 billion, I mean, they could give. Now we're gonna start doing math, which is when my head starts to hurt. But you could give what? How you could give 50 people $20 million. I don't know. It sounds cool. You know, sort of make more sense and probably do more good in the world if it were to do good. Ray Romero, how are you, sir? ¿Cómo estás, Ray? Wow, Bambaso, that's huge. That's really cool. That's good stuff. Yeah. But again, I think my strategy has some merit. I think my strategy has some merit for winning the New York State Lottery. You guys want to hear a funny story? So every once in a while I'll watch, like, I'm not one of those people who's obsessed with the lottery. I know a lot of people are. Todo bien, amigo. Todo bien. And yeah, no kidding, right, Hans? I mean, there's surely more constructive things to do than to give it to one person. But so I was looking at they have like the winner stories on the lottery website, right? And I was looking a couple weeks ago, and there was this dude out in Queens, New York, which is in New York City. He had just won $10 million on a scratch-off ticket. And I'm reading the story, and he had just won $10 million on a scratch-off ticket for the second time in 6 months. The same guy. So I think it was like 8 months. So like 8 months before, he won $10 million on a scratch-off, and he kept playing. And 8 months later, he won $10 million again. I mean, that's just nuts. Like the odds of that happening. But again, you're only dealing with people in one state. You know, Wilbur Hunter, what's going on? How's Wilbur Hunter? Yes, Ray, I have seen that. That's a new problem. I don't know what the story is on that. But I think this is so cool, seeing all these like fields, segmented fields and stuff. It's really neat. One of the things that I noticed on my Africa flight yesterday is that clearly there's not as good satellite coverage, and so some of the scenery wasn't as great. But I did see Mount Kilimanjaro, which was really pretty cool. Wilbur, that's awesome. I'm glad you were able to take some time. Glad you were able to take some time. Yeah. So Uncle Sam and Aunt Sam and everybody else, you get about half. You get about half in cash after you're done. So yeah, they nip you for like, yeah, it's about 50%. So the thing is, if you take it in one lump sum, they cut the sum in half. So if you win 20 million bucks and you say, okay, I'll take it in one shot, they take half of it away. So you only get 10 million. And then they take taxes off of that. So you wind up with like 6 or 5 or whatever, which I mean, whatever. But you can also, if you want the whole thing, you've got to take it in installments over 29 years, I think it is. And if I ever won a really big one, I'd take the 29 years installments, because if one year you blew all your money, you just wait for the next year, you get another big check. And people don't realize how much money you can spend. I have a buddy of mine who's a big finance guy in New York. And, yeah, exactly, Mishko Blue. I have a buddy, yeah, you know, Johan, I was actually thinking about that exact same thing. I was talking with Z Simpilot about that yesterday. Like Cape Town, like Nairobi is probably really good. There's you know, Hans, I don't think you can, because you've got to claim it I think you got to be a resident of the U.S. to claim it, I think. But my buddies, my best friend from like when I was a little kid, when I mean we met in like 5th grade, and he's a big finance guy in New York, like big finance guy in New York, and he had some woman who got like $50 million in a divorce, and he set everything up and da da da, and he, you know, and she started going nuts, like taking these, like she would go like spend like, you know, $500,000 spending 3 months in France and stuff like that. And she'd come back and they'd meet and he'd be like, look, you know, you can do that, but now you've got X amount less coming in. So you're going to have to, you know, kind of slow that down a little bit. She kept doing it and doing it and doing it. And she was just blowing through money. And she literally spent it all. And she came in and like was freaking out on him. And, you know, I'm going to sue you and all this stuff. And he was like, look, I have records of every meeting we ever had, and I've told you for years you cannot do this or you're going to run out of money. And she literally spent like, I forget what it was, like 40 something million bucks, just blew it. So you can do that. Not good. Oh, Johan, you're in Cape Town? Kevin 47 is here. You know what, Kevin, I saw a 747 in St. Martin this morning on VATSIM, and I was like, I wonder if that's Kevin. I've heard some awesome things about South Africa. My girlfriend has 2 nephews that have spent some time. That's awesome, Johan. I've heard some really, really good things about that part of the world. Yeah, Mishko Blue, I wouldn't do a blessed thing. I really wouldn't. I would just hang out and enjoy myself. I wouldn't buy stupid cars and, like, you know, I'd stay in the same places I stay now. I'd just stay for longer. The frame gen mod installed on my PC is gonna overheat when I'm on cruise. It could be Zero. It could be, because you're getting. It could be because you're getting more performance out of your graphics card. You know, I mean, it just depends on how bad it's overheating. You know, I mean, I have to kind of watch mine. Like right now, I have the door to my office open. Otherwise, it would be 80 degrees in here. So it could be Zero. You know, it could be. Depends on what else you're doing, you know. The thing that I find really gets my graphics card like hot is the Holy Grail stuff. I don't usually use it. Not that I could, you know. It's not that I can't. It's just I don't usually because now I stream a couple times a week and I can't use the Holy Grail when I'm streaming, so I just don't feel like going back and forth all the time. But the only thing that makes me hesitant about South Africa is I've heard it's not the safest place in the world. And I hate saying that about places, but like, oh, look at that. That's probably an airport. I wonder if that's a little airport. What a cool little town. Check that out. Bet you that's an airport. Yeah, and I'm just less interested in adventure in my old age, you know? Like I went to some rather adventurous places in my 20s, but nowadays I'm just looking to relax and like not have to worry about things as much, you know? Yeah, Zero. You might want to slow that down, maybe. It depends on what else you're running too, you know. I mean, it might be the frame gen, but it might be something else too. Bravo 737, what's going on? We are flying today, and I'm telling you, I am gonna join you for one of your guys' Thursday flights one of these days. I will, I promise. Connor Scully, what's 45 degrees Celsius? You know what's weird? Like I lived in Europe for years, and everything in Europe is Celsius. But I'm convinced that like once you to Fahrenheit, once you get 113, yeah, that's pretty hot, dude. Once you get it's very, very difficult to switch your brain between Fahrenheit and Celsius once you're like when you grow up on one or the other. Like I understand that 40 degrees Celsius is hot, but I don't quite know how hot, you know what I mean? Whereas if you tell me it's 95 degrees out, I know exactly how hot it is. It's kind of weird. Johan, I don't know. I've been thinking about that actually. I don't know whether it was because of the anti-builds. And the weird thing is, I mean, I'm sure that was part of it, but I've also noticed, and I think some other people have been talking about, they've noticed some performance problems in like the last 2-3 days. So I don't know whether that's stuff they've been changing that's messing things up, or whether there's still just some performance problems out there, because I mean, my performance had been awesome until literally yesterday, and I just started getting some stuttering, and I thought it was maybe from the NVIDIA app because I was recording, but it did it again today. I don't know. So I don't really know. What irritates me about the fact that they delayed it is like, why would you announce it at the last possible second? Like, you can't tell me they didn't know a week ago, or at least like 4 or 5 days ago, that they might be delaying it. You know, they just don't really communicate, and they never have, and they're clearly not going to, because they've been asked a zillion times. Gregory Bryan, what's going on? How are you? So good to see you. I was watching your video the other day. That's a great video. It's one of my favorite approaches. That's a wild approach. And I love that livery you were using. That was great. Yeah, you know what's weird about it? So, Bravo, you know what's weird about this? It matches the ball in the turn coordinator, if you notice. See that? And you'll also notice that I'm flying in a slip because I don't have my ball centered, which is pretty poor effort on my part. Hans Boone, I don't know what load shedding is. Is that like electrical power grid stuff? Probably. Double and add 30. You know what? That's a good point. Double and add 30, so 45 and 30, yeah, 100. Yeah, that's pretty darn close. That is pretty darn close. Yeah, you would think solar in places where there's a lot of sunlight would make some sense, you know. We do have a failure to communicate. Yeah, Enzo. I mean, there's definitely some performance improvement. There's no question. You know. Am I the only person who finds it entertaining flying over terrain like this? I just think it's fascinating. Seeing this part of the world that I'm never going to see. Probably, anyway. Just cool stuff. Winds 4 knots. Variable. Let's see here. Let's see here. Looks like, what, 824 is the runway. Probably take runway 8. And I think I'm just going to do a touch and go. Well, actually, no, I might want to stop at this airport, because this airport looks like it's going to... If you guys got the... freeware version of this airport, I think this... Let me check real quick. Yes, this one is going to be really, really cool. I can't believe this is a freeware airport that we're about to see. Whoa, it's like crazy. Yeah, Johan, I mean, I only flew the A320 once, but and incompetently, by the way. And it didn't work. It didn't work. Scheduled outages, okay, yeah. Yeah, and I don't tend to give Asobo as much grief as a lot of people do, because I think they've come through over the long haul. I think they've come through with a lot, you know, that they've talked about doing. It's just the thing I think they could do better is just communicate. Just literally just, you know, just be better at communicating. And they're just not. And clearly that's not something that they're too worried about. Aileron trim in the Islander is right up top. I don't know if I can... Or no, that's rudder trim, I'm sorry. That is rudder trim. This has got to have aileron trim somewhere. This has got to have aileron trim somewhere. I've been flying this plane forever, and I've clearly never even looked. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. I'll have to ask my buddy Wayne. He'll know. I have a friend of mine who flies these in Anguilla, and he could put the... Yeah, it does kind of look... It looks smoggy to me. Not smoggy, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I guess foggy is the right word. Every time I fly in here in the 737, there's this hazy, that's the word I was looking for. There's this haze over top of Cuba, like the entire island. MUCU, Connor, are you all the way down to MUCU already? Wait, where is MUCU? I'm going to MUCM, I think, because I'm not going anywhere without my, unless I get myself back on course here. This is the Britain Norman Islander of Black Box Simulations. This is probably my favorite plane in the sim. If I had to pick one plane in the sim to fly for the rest of my life, it would be this one. But honestly, it would be either this or the TBM. We got traffic over here, we got traffic over there. If I had to pick one plane in the sim to fly, it would be either this or the TBM. Because the TBM is just so versatile, you know. Oh, Johan, yeah. I mean, I won't get into politics and government, but geez, you know, keeping the lights on is like the least they can do, you know. Oh shit. Australian GP. So that Alonso penalty, I do not get. I do not get it. And what he said about it made the most sense to me. He was like, I'm not, so I have to drive the same corner the same way every lap. Like, that's just, and I watched back a bunch of different, like, views of it and such, and George Russell was way closer. He was like twice as, like, about half the distance closer on the lap where he went off to Alonso than he was the lap before. So I mean, if you're you know, twice as close and you're going, you know, 240 kph through a corner, like, you might want to pay attention to what's going on. Like, you know, I'm not saying he wasn't, but you know, something might happen. You know, I mean, if Alonso had done the same thing he did on that lap the lap before, nothing would have happened because George was twice the distance away. But like when you're that close, following that fast through a corner, you got to be ready for anything to happen. And I just don't think Alonso did anything. And what's even stupider, what even drives me nuts, and we're talking Formula One here, guys, is that when the stewards released their decision, they said that they didn't take the fact that George Russell crashed into account. So it's not like they're saying that Alonso made Russell crash and therefore he's getting a penalty. They didn't even consider the crash in terms of the penalty they gave him. So if you don't consider the crash, then what do you do wrong? I just don't get it. I mean, it's just racing, you know? It's just racing. Yeah, the Tri-Lander's a little weird. The Tri-Lander's a little weird. I'd like to fly on it one time. Because this company, Anguilla Air Services, has one. You know? So, but yeah, and D-Dog, the other weird thing is, I tell you, I mean, Carlos Sainz. How do you get rid of that guy in favor of Lewis Hamilton? Lewis Hamilton's been a great driver, but I'm not convinced that Lewis Hamilton is a better driver than Carlos Sainz right now. And racing is a lot more interesting without Max Verstappen. But yeah, D-Dog, I totally feel the same way. It's just racing, you know. It's racing. It's what happens, you know. And but Carlos Sainz, geez, the only person not driving a Red Bull car to have won a race in the last 2 years is Carlos Sainz, and he's looking for a job right now. Tell me how much sense that makes. None. You know, I think once the silly season starts of the driver swaps, it's going to be very, very interesting. Virtue Sim, what's going on, Mike? How are you? Good to see you. I was thinking about opening a F1 chat channel in my Discord because I love talking F1. Life is good, Mike. Life is very good. Had a good, uh-oh. Tap A320, A319 nose wheel landing. No, I didn't see that. When did that happen? You know, I wonder, I'm gonna Google that right now. And welcome aboard, Higino. How are you? And forgive me if I mispronounce your name. I apologize. I want to see this. Uh-oh. Nose wheel landings are not good. Nose wheel landings can go really bad, really fast. Really fast. Oh, he got... Is that Madeira? Is that how it's pronounced? Like, I'm not 100% sure, but that airport is crazy. Yeah, no. Dude, you gotta go around. Oh yeah. No, that's really, yikes. No, you gotta go around when that happens. One thing you don't ever want to do is land a plane on the nose wheel. See if you guys can click that. Yeah, landing a plane on a nose wheel is bad. Yeah, I mean, I think I just watched it really quick, but like when you're 20 feet off the ground and you're in a complete nose down attitude in a transport jet, it's time to go around, because once you get that nose bouncing, you're in deep trouble. He's actually lucky, I would say. I mean, those things are built incredibly sturdy, but one thing you don't want to do is land an airplane on its nose. I've been on a plane one time that started porpoising, and I tell you what, that is a scary feeling. It is a scary feeling. Can't imagine what that feels like in an A319. The faster, the funner. Hey, Virtuesim, I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm glad to hear you're doing good. Let's see, is that an aeroport? Runway 8 is what we're looking for, right? So, yeah, so I'm kind of in the wrong place, aren't I? Yes, I am. Well, it's low visibility, so it's a good idea to get some visibility, but I need to turn outbound here and get myself at least a little bit of a downwind. So, start slowing this baby down. I know I turned my fuel pumps off. Did I just turn them back on? Probably did. Alright, we're gonna go. We're inside 115. We'll put in one degree of flaps rather. And now we'll start dropping down. We're at, let's see, field elevation about 400 feet. Hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Thanks for coming in. And we'll make ourselves... Beauty of the Islander is it slows down so very, very well. So we don't have to worry about slowing down and going down to being too high. big building over there. This has been one of the sloppier approaches I've ever made. Yeah, Skymaster, this is a Cat 3A in the old Islander here. Might be a Cat 4. I was in a what was it? Might have been a CRJ that did a. Let's go make sure it's impossible. Forward fuel pumps are on. We did a Cat 3 landing into Philadelphia probably about 6 years ago, and as a matter of fact, that video is on my channel if you want to go watch it. It was one of the coolest things. I mean, you just see it in the video. Just search on my channel for Philadelphia, and you will literally see it. I remember there was like, you could see the top of the bridges coming through the clouds, which tells you how low we were. And then seems like we got a little bit of a crosswind here. And then it's careful here, folks. And then next thing you saw was like the side of the runway. We touched down. And I remember I wanted to ask the cabin crew, I wanted to ask the pilots about it, but we were in a hustle to get to our next flight. So I didn't. Alright. 381 red. Good. That was a pretty cool thing. It's a weird feeling. It must be a really weird feeling in the cockpit. Power is coming out. Power is coming out. Power is all the way out. Now don't land. Don't land. Don't land. Don't land. Don't land. Don't land. That's the key to greasing it on. Don't land. Alright, now this is a really cool freeware airport. Wait till you see this. I was going to do a touch and go, but this is just too cool. This is available on flightsim.to. I mean, can you believe this? It's freeware? And it just keeps going and going. Fuel pumps off, flaps coming up. There's Chris. And like, if you look down there, there's like a huge, crazy terminal building. Like, it's unbelievable. Rubber duck 05, quack, quack, quack. What's going on? We can quack. And we got traffic. We got traffic on the runway. This is awesome. We got a good group in here today. Yeah, Mike Coffee, I totally agree. I totally agree. I mean, that was a go around long before the front wheel hit the ground. You know, in my opinion. Man, passengers must have been thrilled with that one. You know. I can't believe it's not butter. Alright, I mean, this is a freeware airport. Look at this. Unbelievable. We'll see the let me set up my where are we going? Next stop is MUMZ. So let's go direct. I don't know if this is the real way to do it. I guess it is. I guess there's no reason not to just use direct if you're going somewhere else, right? MUMC? MUMZ. Zulu. So we want to go this way. I mean, this is the highlight airport of. Yes, we're gonna activate that. This is the highlight airport of that of this flight. This next airport is pretty cool. Don't get me wrong. Yes, Skymaster, I do use FS Realistic, and I love it. I love it once you get rid of the sneeze, which is like the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. I don't know if you guys know it. So in FS Realistic, which has some great features, one feature that it has, let me make sure there's no traffic coming in here. One feature that it has is your co-pilot will sneeze every once in a while, and apparently your co-pilot's really got some allergies because he sneezes all the time, and it's really annoying. So let's bring it up. And I was just thinking, we haven't decided about this weekend, because usually we stream on Sundays, but I'm going to be in a sugar coma. So, from eating all the chocolate. I don't know if you guys know I have a chocolate problem. The sneeze and the applause. Yeah, the applause, you know what? Let's go mixtures and props full forward. Let's set the flaps. That's why you always should have a good pre-takeoff checklist. Flaps are set, fuel pumps are on, mixtures and props full forward, takeoff power coming in. Did I check my trim? I did not. Believe it or not, in the Caribbean, the landing clap is a thing. They really do. It's pretty funny. And I was actually, I wanted to see this part too. Look at this. I'm gonna fly low down. Look at that build. This is a freeware airport. I mean, that's, you know, quite obviously a custom made. I mean, that's just amazing to me. The other time I remember getting, looks like about the same heading, right? About 140 maybe. Take a little right turn here. The other time I remember getting a takeoff or a landing clap, I was landing in Frankfurt with Lufthansa. I got some funny stories about trips I've taken, but we were 1,000 feet AGL. Let's turn the fuel pumps off. Fuel pressures are good. I was flying back from Morocco, and if 08 ZEA is here, who is from Morocco. But we were flying back from Morocco, and it was miserable weather. I mean, horrible weather. Fuel pumps are off. That's why I'm not climbing the flaps down. And I don't remember what we were on, but we were flying Lufthansa, and he absolutely greased it. I mean, you didn't even feel the touchdown, and you could tell. I mean, clearly a lot of people were nervous in the cabin, because as soon as the plane started slowing down on the runway, everybody started clapping. It was pretty funny. So the clapping is a thing. Yeah, Higano. That, I mean, that's amazing. I mean, there's some truly amazing freeware airports out there. And I'm gonna go at 3,500 feet on this leg, simply because it's foggy. And it's like this every time I fly the 737 into Cuba. Cannot stand the ambient sounds. Yeah, Kevin. I don't mind a lot of it. The only thing is I turn down a lot of sounds, and so the wind sound is really loud. So that one was kind of annoying. But the passing of wind. Co-pilot farting. You know they can hear the bathroom, right? Usually in the airport cockpit, in the plane cockpit, you can hear the bathroom. I don't know how much you can hear, Yeah, the sneeze is just stupid. It really is. I mean, once in a blue moon, I guess. But like the dude sneezes like every 10 minutes. The first time it happened, it scared the Jesus out of me. D-Dog, yeah. If you're on Store, Microsoft Store version, you go into the Xbox Insider Hub. It's called. It's an app you can get from the Microsoft Store on Windows, and you just go into the Xbox Insiders Hub, and there's a button for previews, and it's in there. It's technically called a preview. So 3500 looks pretty good. Some rudder trim in here. But if you're on D-Dog, if you're on Store. If you're on Steam, I don't know how to do it, but if you Google it, you'll find it. Whichever one you're on. Yeah, there's some crazy good freeware available for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think that's one of the biggest things that sets it apart from previous sims. And I did the video when Sim Update or when World Update 16 came out. I did that Caribbean freeware video. That was really pretty cool. Yeah, Virtue Sim, you're right. You got to restart it. Forgot about that part. Hey, Skymasters777 has joined the channel. Thank you so much, sir. I assume, sir. I always do that. Like, so you get pretty detailed information from YouTube about your viewers and all that stuff. Like what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you know, age, gender, location, languages, like all this different stuff. And where am I going, by the way? And like 99.4% of my viewers in total are male, and so I always assume that everybody's a male, but you shouldn't do that. But Skymaster, welcome to the club, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yeah. So, Mike, I had somebody demographics. That's the word I'm looking for. It's weird. I don't know why. Sometimes you just have that word. It's right there, and you can't find it. Thank you, Chris. Mike, there was every once in a while you get somebody on like commenting on a video who gets really, really hyped up about something, and yeah, exactly. And this guy when I put up that video about the VPN, this one dude freaked out. He's like, "Oh, it's not true, and you're lying," and I was like, "Well, I had my VPN open, and I clicked the VPN on, and I got 50 megabytes per second, and I turned the VPN off, and I got 2, and I did it like 4 times. You know, I would guess 08, yeah." On at MUMZ, and and I'm sure Virtue Sim will tell you the same thing. Like you get people who are like, "Oh, you're just doing this for, you know, you know, what do they call that stupid thing? The see, now I'm having brain problems. The algorithm. Like, oh, you just make videos, like you make them longer than you need to for the algorithm." And I'm like, no, because like if people don't watch it, your video gets less play and less attention and less everything. You know, people have these weird concepts of like what we do, and it's just the nature of the beast. You know, I mean, it is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. But 155. Yeah, like you can't get away with posting gibberish. Like if you do, people are gonna realize that you post gibberish, and nobody's gonna watch your channel. So, you know. So Mike, you're happy that there are no new liveries for the Comanche? The stupid thing is called the stupid thing. Yeah, Virtue Sim, exactly. I don't think. I think you and I should talk sometime. It's funny. It's funny. Yeah, it's a good. This is my kind of flying. I love this. This is the thing that just amazes me about Microsoft Flight Simulator is just being able to go to like a part of the world you've never seen and get to kind of enjoy it. You know, it's wild. Yeah, Kevin. I don't even know. I get the feeling from watching, like, 'cause I watch like some videos of the people who, you know, are responsible for the algorithm and stuff, and they, you know, I honestly get the feeling they don't even know how it works. They don't even really know what it does. Like they, you know, have basic idea, but I have a feeling it kind of does its own thing. You know. But I figured out a while ago. I just do my thing, and whatever happens, happens. You know. And one of the cool thing that's happened. You want to talk about interesting? Like this entire thing that we're doing right now is entirely organic. You know, like I just started doing these, you know, these flights around the Caribbean after the update, and people were like, "Can I join?" I was like, "Sure." Never even occurred to me that anybody would want to fly along, you know. And now we've got, you know, 25 people, 30 people every time. It's awesome. Like you can't force create things like that, you know. Just like you can't force your airplane to stay at the altitude you want it to be at. Yeah, I think Microsoft Flight Simulator is a pretty cool thing. It really is. Yeah. It's like I'm trying to remember how this goes. So there was I like history. I like, you know, political history, things like that, and I especially like presidential history, U.S. presidential history. I think it's interesting precisely because of what you just said, Kevin. And there's like, they say there's like 3 stages of working in the White House. Like the first like, you know, couple months, you're like, I literally can't even believe I'm here. I can't believe what's going. You know, I can't even believe I'm here. I shouldn't be here. And then like you go for a while and they're like, well, you know, I really kind of feel like I've got this figured out, like I know what I'm doing. And then after that stage is over, the next stage is, I cannot believe nobody has figured out that we have no idea what we're doing. You know, I mean, it's got to be weird in a way. And I suppose people who have a really big ego think they should be there, I guess. You know. Elon Musk is kind of a weird dude. I kind of feel like he just lucked into a lot of things and made a whole lot of money, and now he can just do some weird stuff. I might be wrong about that. The one thing I read about him that I thought was totally bizarre was he doesn't want any meetings to take place at Tesla. Like no meetings. Just do stuff. Like meetings are a waste of time. That's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. You have to get people together and figure things out before you can move forward with things. You can't just like brutally push your way forward in business. Like, it just doesn't work that way. You can have too many meetings, but no meetings is kind of a silly idea, you know? Yeah, so Mike, I looked into that, and you have to boost your server, which of course means you have to pay. Which doesn't mean I won't do it, you know? Yeah, Enzo, like I just, I don't I don't really have any opinion on him one way or the other, aside from the fact that I don't know, wasn't he like a PayPal guy or something? And then like you get a gazillion dollars and you're like, although I mean he really was kind of the pioneer of electric cars. Like nobody really thought it could. Well, I'm sure people thought it could happen, but he was the one who kind of made it happen. But yeah, he can certainly do whatever he wants, But he's got some weird business ideas. Jason, it's funny because it really depends on how an organization is run. I've been in organizations where the meetings are just completely pointless. But like at my company, like you have to have a reason for the meeting. You gotta like lay out in advance what you're gonna talk about, what you need from whoever is there, and you've gotta have like at least an idea of what you're gonna be trying to take from the meeting going forward. Like we just don't have meetings for meetings. We have them for very specific reasons. But I can't even imagine. Like, yeah, he was born in South Africa. And I guess like the other thing, here I am, and of course being him, he's got like a billion losers in the world like me, talking smack about him, but there's definitely the theory of you just have to break things sometimes, in order to make progress, and he's definitely done that. But if you think about other things like Uber, Airbnb, I mean those are all just disruptors, as they call them, and sometimes things need to be disrupted. Yeah, Skymaster. So the Google guys have I want to say either 5 or 7 jets, at I forget which airport in California, but they've got they have their own flight department essentially for like the 2 of them, and what was his name? Was it Mike Allen or Mark Allen, co-founder of Microsoft? He's probably important enough that I should know his first name, but Paul Allen, who died a couple of years ago, he had 2 Boeing 757s, one for himself and one for his friends. And so, like, if he wanted his friend to come over for the weekend, he would just send one of the planes to go pick his friends up. It's kind of wild. But he also had a huge, it's probably still there, an enormous aviation museum out in the Pacific Northwest somewhere. Yeah, Jason, you got that right. You got that right. That'd probably be a little weird too. Yeah, Enzer, so that is definitely interesting. We have a friend who's paraplegic, and I don't like talking things like that with her, simply because like I don't want to be a reminder of the difficulty she faces. I just would prefer to be a friend to talk to, or to hang out with and be a normal human being. They are normal human beings, they just can't walk. But anyway, I saw that with the Neuralink, And like, if it were me in that situation, I'd be like, just try whatever you want. I don't care. You know, like, you want to put a chip in my head? Go ahead. Like, I'd really just. Wheels, no way. Gosh. You know, it's funny because. So the woman I'm talking about, she was in a snowmobile accident, probably like maybe 6 or 8 years ago. And there's a lot of those where I live. Somebody just died last week in a snowmobile accident. I mean, those things are unbelievable. They go 100 miles an hour on snow and ice. And she never, I've never heard her complain, you know. And I guess the thing that I always think about is like how little my problems are, you know. What the only thing I really ever heard her say was, she said one time how much she would love just to be able to get in the car and go for a drive, you know. But yeah, wheels. We don't realize how fortunate we are. You know, we really don't. We really don't. Paul Allen's yacht. I have not. Wheels, are you from Australia, or is the g'day just a phrase? Yeah, we take so much. I mean, so my girlfriend, her husband died in a very, very famous plane crash, which I will not name, but you know, and he was a amazing, you know, educated, successful guy with an incredible family, and just gone in the blink of an eye, you know. Vancouver. It's one of those cities that I've heard is just unbelievably beautiful. See that? You and Mike Coffey are in the same town. That's wild. That's another thing that we were talking before about demographic stuff that you get from YouTube, and I'm never cease to be amazed at like where my puny little unimportant YouTube channel, like where people watch from. It's unbelievable. All over the like Philippines, Australia, all, you know, crazy. Lots and lots of places. Spina bifida. Yeah. So, yeah, my girlfriend is an amazing person. She has she's a Pilates instructor. She's a classical Pilates instructor, and she has a client, this woman that I was telling you about, who is paraplegic, and the work that they've done to be able to get her to be able to move better, and like weird things that, you know, we'd never think about, like being able to pick yourself up if you fall. You know, when she previously, if she would fall forward in her chair, she couldn't pick herself up, and now she can, and just things like that. And yeah, she has a couple clients with different disabilities that she works with, improving quality of life things. It's amazing. Used to work for the ferries. Neat. iMac Mill, how are you doing? I can't believe we got this really cool Vancouver connection going on. That's great. I'm just enjoying watching the conversation now. But let's see, probably only another. The thing that I'm wondering is where we are going. To be able to, if we're going to have to go over that mountain. And Wheels, you know, I really think that progress like he's making in fields like that is going to change the world, I think, for a lot of people in the next 20, 30 years. You know, I understand the medical side of, you know, prudence and informed consent and everything else. But I know if it were me, I would want access, you know, to something that would have the potential to help me in such a profound way, you know. We did not visit a POI today. You know, that's a very good point. And as a matter of fact, so I didn't realize that there were POIs before, that there were POIs in the Caribbean before the Caribbean update. And I think that's where I've fallen short, you know. Because I don't know much about spina bifida, I have to be honest. I'm gonna have to look. I have a friend of mine's father who was born with spina bifida as well. Look at this. But Chris, so the POIs that are in the Caribbean that were not part of the Caribbean update are visible on the world map. I just never think to me the world map is just something I click through on my way to flying. I never look at it. You know what I mean? So I need to actually take a look at it. iMac Mill, got my private pilot's license at YYJ in the early 1990s. Yeah, funding is not easy. Funding is not easy. Brecker, I'm sorry I didn't see your question before. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. What's weird is that he asked if the Auto FPS app is working in Sim Update 15, and the answer is yes. And there's the other branch version of that came off of the Fragtality app, which is called Smooth Flight. And I saw a post on this. I've been meaning to do a video on it, and I was looking yesterday, and I saw something where the developer said that something had happened and it wasn't working in Sim Update 15. So I'm gonna have to actually reach out to him and find out. And yeah, Mishko Blue, I thought about that too. I thought about that too, and then I thought about maybe not wanting to get involved in in whatever various opinions people might have on that. It's just like I can't get over the water, and it's stunning. It is absolutely stunning. Connor, there may well be, that might be our solution to the fact that we can't fly on Sunday because I'm going to be in a sugar coma. You know, Johan, I can actually read Afrikaans, believe it or not. So I speak German, and I taught myself to read Dutch for work, just because they're so similar. And Afrikaans, as you know, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Afrikaans is extreme, you know, very, very similar to Dutch. I can also read Yiddish, at least a lot of Yiddish, which is funny. But and for anybody who's not in the Discord, let me grab the link right now, because I would love to see all you guys in the Discord. I have as much fun with the conversations as I have with anything else doing these flights. And let's see if this works. No, it does not. Okay. Where is the... Probably crashing right now. Here we go. Anybody who is not in the Discord, please join, because I would love to have you guys in the Discord. I really enjoy these conversations about all these weird and interesting stuff. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, I can actually read Yiddish. Yeah, so maybe we'll do Friday then. D-Dog, I think FS 2024 is going to be... I think FS 2024 is going to be ridiculous. I really do. I think it is going to be mind-blowing. Because we're not going to be limited, I don't think. I don't think it's going to be main thread limited anymore. CPU limited, in other words. Because what happened, believe it or not, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 is... Wheels, you got it, brother. You got it. It would be my pleasure. Microsoft 2020, Flight Simulator 2020, is based on FSX code. Like, they literally started this sim with FSX code, which was, what, 15 years old at the time. You know? And, which is, I mean, they must have just done it just to save X amount of time, right? Runway 08 looks like all well and good, but like a lot of the work that they've done over the last 4 years has just literally been pulling the code out, pulling the old code out and replacing it, right? Virtusim, awesome. iMac Mill, good. Glad to have it. And so with 2024, my understanding anyway is that they're doing it from the ground up. And so that way they can really utilize the technology a whole lot better. So I am of the opinion, hey Sambo, what's going on? No way! No way! Sambo, that's amazing! See, these are the things that blow my mind. I cannot believe it. Burkina Faso. Sambo, join our Discord. I just put the link up a little bit higher up in the chat. Join the Discord. That is unbelievable. These are the things that I just blow my mind. They really do. So cool. Thanks for coming along. I enjoy it. I'm very glad to see you. But yeah, I think Microsoft 2024 is going to be ridiculous. I really do. Probably finding the airport that I'm looking for is going to be ridiculous too. That'd probably be a good idea. People don't realize how difficult it is sometimes to find an airport in real life. It really is. You know, especially when you're descending, because you're getting lower, and it's kind of, it's easier to find them from, you know, 10,000 feet in the air. I think it's right over here, I think. But when you're descending, you're getting closer to the ground, and you're like looking around for it. It can be kind of hard to find. Oh, I bet you that's it. I bet you that's it right over here. It can be really, really difficult to find airports. Yep, absolutely, Wheels. Yeah, totally. Totally. Yeah, so it's funny. I was in I mentioned I did my first ever Africa flight yesterday. And I've been wanting to fly. So Burkina Faso is in Africa, is where this started, where my train of thought started. And let me see here, bring some power out. I've been wanting to fly in Africa for the longest time, for the same reason that I wanted to fly here in Cuba, because I'll probably never see it. Get first notch of flaps in, and just the ability to be able to see things like that in our pseudo, in our fake world, just is really wild to me. It's just, and I really enjoyed it. And so I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, Z-Sim Pilot, you guys probably know from the channel. And I really want to do a lot more flying in Africa. And the thing is, like, it's obviously very big. There's so many places to fly. In some ways, I kind of think that I limit myself by just flying in the Caribbean. I don't just fly in the Caribbean, but 99% of my flying is in the Caribbean. So we're on short final. Let's see here. No way, Skymaster, that's amazing. See, these things are what just blow my mind. They really do. It's awesome. And that's kind of what's amazing about flight sim is, like, and there's literally just no boundaries anymore. Like, I mean, aside from half the people here are in Vancouver, but other than that, everybody else is like from all over the place. And I'm just gonna nosedive, because once I pull the, all right, fuel pumps are on, 1 notch flaps, make sure it's props full forward. Fuel pumps are on. Oh, I already said that one. Seatbelts are secure, and as soon as I pull the nose up, the airspeed is going to drop like a rock, which is what I want. So that's the cool thing about this airplane. It's very forgiving. Yeah, Virtue Sim, I saw that yesterday. I forget what it's called, but they did like a little bit of a left to right crosswind here. They did, I mean, it's got to be like 100 airports. It's amazing. Alright, let's get back. So my friend who flies these in the Caribbean, he does exactly what I'm going to do right now, which is he puts the flaps in like right here, the second notch. I'm landing downwind. It does seem. That right there doesn't look like much in the sim, but in real life that is a very uncomfortable feeling when you land in a crab like that, because the airplane feels like it's going to tip over, and it might tip over. It's a very uncomfortable feeling. So I see somebody coming in. I'll stay off to the side. Yeah, Johan. I mean, I probably can't read like War and Peace in it, but I can get the general gist of what's going on. You know. Yeah, Sambo. It's amazing. It really is amazing. You know, if you think about all the connections, just just what we've done here. You know, just this group here today, unbelievable. From South Africa to Burkina Faso to Canada to, you know, Belgium, and everywhere in between. You know, it's amazing. It really is. Um, yeah, mountain flying wheels. Mountain flying is something totally different. Which side am I going on here? Which side should I go on? Well, I suppose we should go on that side. That looks like the side to go on. But yeah, there's like a static airplane over there. So this is another freeware field, and they did a really nice job with this one too. Skymaster, there's a guy called. Let me see if. Joe, this is the Britain Norman Islander. I think this is the guy's name on FlightSim.to, Chak999. He does some unbelievable freeware sceneries. I mean, unbelievable freeware sceneries. And he's done a bunch of them in Africa. But what the weird thing about it is, he does them all over the world. Like he did one. Um, like I used to live in Hamburg, Germany, so it's like a kind of a favorite place for me, you know. And he did one for Hamburg, and you know, it's a you know, big Class Bravo airport, and he did just, I mean, an amazing job. I mean, it's payware quality. He did Barbados. He's done a bunch of them in Africa. Um, he's done just all over the place, and it's incredible. Avionics master off. Let's put our flaps up before we turn the master off and make a fool of ourselves. It's nothing like having your flaps still down and you've got the power off. Alright, mags off, master and battery switches off, and now let's open up the doors. Let me catch up with the chat. Joe, you're very, very welcome. And welcome aboard. And if you'd like, we fly every Wednesday and Sunday. And anybody who wants to fly, come fly with us. Here comes one of our next customers. And join our Discord and all that. It's a good time. And I tell you, this flight was pretty amazing. It really was. Just the group of people. I get blown away, guys. I really do, by everybody that's everybody's stories. It just makes me very happy. It's really cool. Um, you know, Wheels. So you probably missed it earlier. There's a couple of us on here who are pretty big F1 fans. Um, I am a huge F1 fan. So that's actually one of the things that I've always thought about doing is flying the. I wonder if their chocks are out because I put mine out. I wonder if I take mine off. So I've thought about doing that following. Yes, see that? See, they had their chocks out because I put mine out. But following the F1 calendar, how much fun that would be. I forget what they fly. They fly at least like two 747s. I think it might be more than that. Um, Longitude following the NASCAR circuit. Gotcha. And the 787 following the F1 circuit. That's awesome. Um, yeah. So wheels. They have. You can get one with a. You can get. Well, first of all, they should have auto. I mean, if I don't know if auto rotor is any good in the sim. If you let me see if I can find it. Um, I've never tried it. So that this is under assistance options, auto rudder. If you turn that on, that might help. So you know, cancel out the effects of crosswind during takeoff or landing. But the other thing is you can get yokes, or not yokes, but like joysticks, like the Airbus type joysticks with a twist to them. You know, so you can twist and use rudder that way. You know. Um, hey Sambo, thank you, thank you for coming. That's so cool. I really appreciate it. Mark Carter, how are you, sir? Good to see you. Um, yeah, Mike, this has been a truly amazing flight. It really has been, and not because of the flying. What a cool bunch of people and what a great time I've had babbling. I can't tell you guys how much I appreciate all of you for joining. And Sambo, please come back. Please come back. Wheels, please come back. Join the Discord. So much fun to have you guys around. Skymaster, same. Please. Thank you. Skymaster joined the channel today. God bless. Appreciate that. Um, and New Caledonia, I'm game. New Caledonia, I am game. I'm ready. I write all this stuff down during the New Caledonia during the flight. Yes, I can repost the Discord link. Absolutely. 1 second. 1 second. And I finally figured out how to make the Discord link not disappear, which is good. Or not, because it used to expire, but this one will not expire. So this one. Oh, Jamie. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I didn't realize. Gotcha. Okay. Awesome, Jamie. Awesome. I did not realize that was you. Um, Gotta get a mat. I need to press that button so my head thing stops moving around. And I want to move this over here so we can see this cool freeway airport. Um, so New Caledonia, yes. Oh, you have Ottawa. Okay. Yeah, the joystick type with the twistable yoke might be a really good answer for you, Jamie. Um, and Connor, yeah, nobody had more fun than me today. Believe me, I really enjoyed that one. Um, you know what's funny, Chris? I have a piece of wood, just some random piece of wood that I found in my basement that I stuck behind my yoke, my rudder pedals that keeps them steady, and like the piece of wood is pushed up against the wall behind my desk. Um, Sambo, normally my regular flying, I always fly on VATSIM. These flights we fly on multiplayer. So we normally do these on Wednesdays and Sundays. This Sunday we're not going to because it's Easter. But I'm gonna try to do one on Friday. Sometimes we do Fridays, so I'll try. I'm gonna try to do it Friday, and I'll put up a link early so that everybody will know. Um, and once again, I'm getting a women's underwear commercial. I'm not sure why. Um, but hey, Virtus and Mike, you have a great time too. Have a great flight in Norway, and Luis, we're not gonna fly this Sunday because it's Easter, but I'm gonna do one Friday. I'll put it up Friday about the same time as today's. So everybody who wants to join, please do, and that would be awesome. And yeah, I mean, unbelievable flight today, guys. Really, really unbelievable stuff. Um, oh, the scenery was a special request for you. No way. Yeah, yeah, that's the thing about the internet. It's just awesome. And it's cool. Yeah, Skymaster, bless you as well. And everybody, I so much appreciate everybody joining. Luis, Friday it is, my friend. Guys, what a day. This was really special. It was a really, really cool flight. Um, so thanks everybody. Mishko Blue, Luis, Skymaster. Skymaster, thanks again for joining. I really appreciate it. Means a lot to me. Mike, Wheels, Chris, Johan. Yeah, midnight there for you. Have a great night. Thank you for coming and watching. And Peter, same to you, sir. And appreciate it. Enzer, always a pleasure to have you with us. Andrew, hey Andrew, what's going on? Good to see you stop in, my friend. Andrew, we're gonna do it Friday instead of Sunday because um, Sunday is Easter, and Wheels, shoot me an email. Uh, shoot if you can't get in for whatever reason, just shoot me an email and we'll make sure we work it out. Okay, I'll make sure that that doesn't be a problem. Um, yeah, and yeah, Chris. I mean, imagine once we can all fly together, it'll be so, so much better. And Jason, I don't do anything. You guys do it. It's awesome. It's I'm just the beneficiary. It's so much fun. Um, so guys, I really really appreciate it. Wonderful flight. Um, everybody on the other side of the world, have a good night. And D Dog, you as well. And Wheels, thanks, brother. Enzer, yeah, these things happen. Um, hopefully, we'll get back to our regular schedule next week and you can join us. Um, but guys, uh, you know, Jason, Enzer, Wheels, D Dog, Andrew, Chris, uh, Peter, Johan, thank you again. Mishko Blue, Luis, Skymaster, you guys are the best. Mike at Virtue Sim, thanks, man. Chris, Connor, Sambo, really appreciate you coming by. And D Dog as well. Joe, if you're still here, thank you again. And please come back. Please join us again. iMac Mill, you as well. Appreciate it. And what a cool flight, guys. What a cool flight. Um, off to NDSU, hoping for some football. Okay, hey, get him to get some free college. That's some good stuff. North Dakota State University. I'm assuming you're talking. That's gonna be cold up there. It better be free. That's cold. Um, Sambo, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm so glad for you coming out. And Jason, best of luck with that on Friday. Best of luck with that on Friday. Mike, have a great rest of your day. Guys, thank you, thank you, thank you. Really enjoyed this one. And we'll see you again on Friday. Take care, everybody.